So before we start any of this, I just want to show you my view right now. It's insane. Good morning, Seoul. It's really lovely. This is what I get to see every single day at work. I just tried to start filming like 5 times and then everybody's alarm went off in the office. So I had to go turn off like a ton of alarms. Anyway, hi guys. Today I'm going to be talking about something a lot of you have asked me about ever since I started my Tumblr way back in 2012, and that is my experience as a YG intern, or Idealist as they called us. Basically, I was an intern. For about 4 months I was working on promotion and brainstorming projects for YG with about 20 other Korean students. I was the only foreigner. It was difficult. I didn't speak any Korean at this point. I had been in Korea for a total of maybe a month by the time I was fully hired on. So I had taken no Korean classes. I could say like hello, thank you, I love you, and I could read Hangul, but that doesn't get you very far. But anyway, I'm going to break this video into 2 parts. This part being kind of the logistics, the boring stuff, kind of how I found out about it, what was the application process like, the interview process, and then what did I actually do. And then part 2 is just going to be all of my weird stories and experiences from the 4 months. We went to a lot of concerts for free. We accidentally frightened Dara from 2NE1, who somehow stole another intern's purse. That will be in part 2, which I will link down below. If it's not up immediately, it will be up in the next few days. Yes. So, without further ado, part 1. How in the world did I get this internship and what did I do? For those of you who don't know, I originally came to Korea in 2012 to be an exchange student, study abroad, at Yonsei University in Seoul. So like anyone, I googled about Yonsei before I went there, because I'm not just gonna like go to a foreign country and not know about my university. So probably within the first page of Google results, there was something called the YG Idealist Program, and I checked it out, and it seemed like an internship meets America's Next Top Model. It definitely was like a point system, and there definitely was like a winner announced, but I still don't know what you won. I really wasn't interested in that. I knew that if you can't speak Korean, you're not gonna win this thing. So I was just in it for the experience, and I had a great experience. So I can't honestly tell you if it was meant to hire people. I know that a lot of other people were given job offers, but I don't know if that was the goal of the program. So anyway, found out about it, thought it was super cool, but that was the summer before, and it didn't look like they had applications up for the next round. Fast forward a couple months, I'm in Korea, it's like end of August, and I happened to see that they do post an application, and I figured, why not? Like, it's not gonna hurt me to apply. The application was just an online application. Download the PDF, fill it in, email it out there. From what I remember, the application actually didn't ask too much about your professional background. They asked like, who is your favorite musician? And kind of questions to get to know who you are as an actual person, not as an employee. The very final page was a photo wall, which was just a blank page, and you were encouraged to upload whatever you wanted. And I thought at this point, the chances of me getting this are so slim, might as well have fun with it. So I added a few pictures of my dog, because I love my dog, and a couple really embarrassing pictures of my friends, myself included. I looked crazy too, but it was just like us at a concert, but we all were just like, blah! They were a little upset that someone at YG now has their really embarrassing picture, so Hi guys. So then I sent that off into the web and really didn't expect to hear anything back. And then I got an email back. I had an email, I'm pretty sure it was on a Sunday night, that basically said, hey, here are the time slots for Monday evening. Tell us if you want to come in at 5 or at 6. See you there. It's like, oh no. Like, what have I done? What am I gonna wear? Like, I did not pack something assuming that I was going to be interviewing at the YG building at all. So luckily I had a dress that was like business casual, kind of funky, and I had like black heels, which ended up cutting my feet up like crazy. So I got there and I had to like stop on the way, and I had like crazy band-aids, like Hello Kitty band-aids. Anyway, so yeah, I show up to YG, which is a whole nother story. I'll talk about it in part 2, but basically I accidentally broke into the YG building because I didn't know how to get in. But anyway, I show up, and one thing I could take away from being in the YG building is it's dark. I don't know if they're saving money on electricity bills or like what they're doing, but it is like a very dark place. I'm like sitting in the dark with, I think, maybe 5 other interviewees, and then we get brought into this literally candlelit room. Like, it is pitch black. So we get brought into this room, and we're sitting on one side of a really long black table, and then there's 4 YG employees, and they basically just hound us with questions about why we applied, who our favorite YG artist is. Some of the questions seemed really, really random, and it was later told to me by kind of the head guy. He said that they had honestly already picked people. They just brought more people in to confirm the vibe. They hired us off of the energy that we brought into the room. They just really wanted super chill, positive, fun people. And so it ended up that was great because everybody they hired was super awesome. Not to toot my own horn, I'm talking about everybody else. So yeah, basically they just asked a bunch of questions, all in Korean. They were kind enough to speak to me in English. They asked me a lot actually about my work with Eat Your Kimchi. Even though they didn't seem to care about my professional background, they thought that the fact that I was an intern with Eat Your Kimchi was really cool. They asked me about who my favorite artist was, and I think they were surprised when I said Epic High. They genuinely were like, oh, like, not Big Bang? They were really confused. And this is right as Epic High's album is about to come out. I said that I was super excited for it, and they were kind of like, that's not what we expected, that's really cool. It was another thing where I thought, oh, that was a fun experience, I got to be in the YG building, now I'm never gonna hear from them again. Get an email a couple days later saying, wow, congratulations, please come on this day for your orientation. So I show up to YG again. This time I know how to get in. I don't have to break in. And we have dinner at the cafeteria that Justin Bieber likes so much. It's just in the basement. It's next to the practice studio. It was yummy. And then they split us into teams of 5, I believe, because we had a group project and an individual project. So for our group project, we just basically got to know each other, exchanged information, and then we were broken into teams of 2 for meeting our mentors. Because I had mentioned Epic High, my mentor was actually the head of Epic High's project team, project leader, I guess, and it was really, really awesome. I just got to sit down with her and talk to her about kind of Epic High, American expansion. This was also right when Gangnam Style blew up. All the YG people would ask me like, what the hell happened? Like, what is wrong with America? Like, why did this blow up? Like, what did Gangnam Style do? And I had no answers. Like, I was unaware of how big it was in the States. They were just flabbergasted by like, what did they do to America? And so we talked a lot about that too, which was really funny for me. being the like only American that they could ask. I felt like I was really, you know, representing the homeland, trying to tell them why we love Gangnam Style so much. So then for the next week and a half or 2 weeks, we met up in these random study rooms. All over Korea, there are these little rooms that you can rent just to go and study outside of the house. So YG paid for us to have these rooms, and we would come up with our project. So our group project was actually to create the next YG group. And I know that a lot of K-pop fans don't like to hear this, but K-pop groups are manufactured to a T. Like, every detail is thought of ahead of time. We were instructed to very in detail describe the personalities of each member, what their personal concepts will be, what their fashion style will be, how they would react to fans, how do they talk to fans, and also obviously kind of the concept of the group in its entirety. But we came up with a group that was basically Winner. They had already had Winner in the books. Like this was 2 years prior to Winner. I don't think they could have whipped up a group that quickly based on us. Then we presented it at our MT. In Korea, an MT is called membership training, and it's basically like a retreat or like a getaway with companies or a club in college, something like that. So in this case, we headed off to a really ritzy hotel in Gangnam. Usually you go like out to the countryside and you like work for like an hour, and then you eat and drink and be merry and sleep over and then leave the next day. So instead of like glamping, we went to Gangnam and we stayed in a super fancy hotel. So we presented our group that we came up with, and then we were given a bunch of other brainstorming activities, and like we literally just had, it was like high school again, where we had a ton of markers and poster paper, and we did these presentations with like stupid drawings, and it was really great. We also had a camera crew following us, not video, thank God, but just like taking pictures the whole time, which was really funny. And in one of the prompts that we had to present on and brainstorm, it was talking about how YG will expand to the US, and I demanded a Shakira Tableau collaboration. So if that happens in the future, that was me. You're welcome. So after the MT was over, we all went home, and I have some stories about the MT. I'll go into more detail in part 2. But so we just went home, and we were told to work on our individual project, which was to come up with a business plan for YG. So any next business venture that they could do. One girl came up with a makeup brand. Sound familiar? Someone else came up with like a restaurant based on like YG artists' favorite food. Like it was just a really fun time. So we had to present that to the head of marketing, which was super scary because I don't know anything about business plans. During that time, we were also canvassing the streets for Epic High's new album. So we were given t-shirts, which I'm super excited about, and a ton of stickers, and we would go around Gangnam and Shincheon, just anywhere that is really crowded, and hand out Epic High stuff. Because I was the only foreigner, like if there was ever a foreigner on the street, I would be like shoved at them, like go get them, go get them. And so I would have to like speak English and tell these people about Epic High, and they probably already knew about Epic High, so it was fun. It was a really good time. And one day after canvassing Gangnam, we were taken to a photo studio in Cheongdam, which is the really, really ritzy part of Seoul. JYP, SM, Cube, etc. All of the really high-end shopping, all that stuff. It's just like an incredibly expensive area. So I felt very out of place. So we were there for a photo shoot with CC Magazine, and I'll really go into detail about that in part 2 because it was just so funny. Like the head designer, or the head stylist, was the head stylist for the drama Secret Garden. It was just like it was just really funny. So basically it was a really good time, totally casual. I had a really cool profile picture on Facebook for a while thanks to that. Very much felt like the Lizzie McGuire movie to me, as this person who came over to study abroad and now she's doing this really cool photo shoot with expensive clothes. So it was definitely a wonderful memory for me. So the only other real big thing we did, other than the Epic High secret show, which I will talk about in part 2 at length, but we were also invited to GD's solo concert, which was really fun, and then we basically had our kind of closing ceremony and final barbecue where we scared the bejesus out of Dara from 2NE1. So basically that was it. It was 4 months, just a lot of small projects, so it made the time go by really, really fast. But it was an insane experience, and I'm so happy that they accepted me. Like I just still can't believe that they let me in. But yeah, every single person that I encountered, whether they were full-time YG employees or whether they were interns, they're just really awesome people. I do genuinely think that they hire people based on just their personality, because they were just all incredibly kind. The only time that they maybe said something mean was when we were driving home from the MT. We drove past the SM building, and it's like the old SM building, and it looks like it popped out of the 80s. Like it's like a decrepit old building, and like the YG building, super cool. So one of the coworkers kind of was driving, and she just kind of went at the SM building, and that's literally the meanest thing that I think they ever did. I really, really thank the other interns for being so kind to me, because literally I did not speak Korean at this point, like nothing. So they were just the most patient, kind people. They actually threw me, like the next semester, when I was actually going home, they threw me a goodbye party. Like I hadn't seen some of them for a couple months, but they still like came and took me out to noraebang and ate a bunch of stuff. They were just really great people, and it's also a really small company. I think I saw maybe 10 people working there. I know that there's more like managers and choreographers and stylists and stuff like that, but as far as people doing the admin stuff, very small team. They work their butts off, and they're awesome. Even though I wasn't the biggest YG fan, I was kind of just indifferent to YG. Like I enjoyed Big Bang and 2NE1 a lot, but I wasn't like a fan. Someone who felt that way. I'm now, anytime YG does anything, I'm always kind of like, Anyway, that was my experience. I hope that I answered all of your questions. If I didn't, please leave them in the comments down below, and I will answer them as soon as possible. I'm not going to make part 2 until maybe tomorrow, so I probably won't have it uploaded for a couple days. So if you have anything that I mentioned and you really want to hear about it in part 2, let me know in the comments as well, and I will try and cover that too. Sorry if this got long. I ramble, I swear. You can see my laptop in the screen. I had a script written. Thanks for sticking around for this long, and please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in part 2. Bye!